Testing, testing. I think you guys got me now. Hello, hello. I wasn't muted. It was something in the settings. The settings had changed. I don't know why not been on the PC since last time I streamed, basically. So apologies, guys. Anyway, what I was saying, guys, is apart from the usual spiel to begin the stream, for those of you on YouTube, you guys will know the drill. Looking at gold, what I was saying is the first week after 8 consecutive straight bullish weeks, it's our first week bearish in 8 weeks since pretty much the end of last year. And it was not only a bearish candle, it's a bearish engulfing candle. So based off that, I've marked in 50% of that previous candle as a potential level that we could pull back to, see if the sellers step back in, or if we form support above it, perhaps the buyers are going to take control throughout the week and push us back up towards the high, the all-time high yet again. Prior to that, we've got the previous weekly candle low. Prior to last week's candle, so a couple of weeks back, there's also another potential pullback level before we could potentially reject. We're pretty much almost tapped into it. Now into the daily time frame. Now, structure wise, to me, I'm still calling it bullish. There is no 2 more consecutive candle pullback in any of this move to the upside until way back at these lows, 2600 basically. So we're bullish for a long time yet, still on the daily time frame. But what we do have is, once again, we can use counter probabilities, that being to the downside. If we were to look for potential sells, notice also the current daily doesn't have a low wick. So any pullbacks within the current candle, if we were to continue bullish, then we must respect levels of support. Those levels of support could also provide potential entry points for sells if we begin to pop below the levels of support formed within the current daily candle, that being on a 30-minute time frame and the 15-minute. So we're still bullish in structure, but counter probabilities to the downside. Onto the 4-hour, and this is definitely bearish in structure. Now we're about to close this 4-hour candle back a bearish candle, leaving a long lower wick though, so that would suggest that potentially, see what we've got just here, these indecision sort of candle, or this indecision hammer sort of candle here to the left, closing above it by the looks of it. So are we at a minor support at the moment? So that exhaustion could suggest that if we begin to break the high of that previous candle, there's a good chance, well, the current candle, which will be previous in 3.5 minutes, that we could come up to retest the current daily candle's high. So just going to mark in these lows for the time being. I'm going to remove it shortly. It's just the most recent support. This is the actual most recent resistance on the 4-hour. We're about to form another one just now. So we're technically bearish in structure. Now, here we go into the 30. So we can see the 50% lines up with some resistance here to the left and previous support. So it is a significant level. Just remove it though for the time being. Now, on to the most recent price action on gold here today. So let's go down to the 15 quickly. Actually, let's go back to the 30 and let's determine the structure on the 30-minute time frame. And now it's actually bullish, and it will remain bullish at this point until price pops back below 23.38 basically. So we've got a long way to go to flip that structure bearish. So therefore the bias is technically neutral, guys. Got 2 time frames to the upside, and I have 2 time frames to the downside at the moment. So I've got the daily and the 30-minute as bullish, and the weekly and the 4 hours technically bearish in structure. So that based off that, I'm willing to look for trades in either direction here today. Now let's go down to the 15-minute time frame, and what we can see is within the current candle, we formed most recently support at this point here, which lines up with, if we were to drag this across, some further resistance to the left hand side. So what we can see below that level, we've got some pretty clean traffic to the left. So for me, for sells at the moment, there's the current daily candle's low. If we were to begin to pop below 28.6128 to be exact, and I feel there's a high probability we will come back down to retest and create that low wick on the daily candle. So therefore, seeing though we've bounced off it multiple times, what I'm going to need to wait for is simply a closure below the retest, and then there's a high probability once again we're going to come back down to create the low wick on the daily and potentially continue further, or just create a low wick, grab some liquidity and head back up. So sells below 28.61.28. Now further potential options, guys. We've, well, just formed some resistance at this point here. May even go down to the 5 minute just now. That looks pretty good on that time frame as well. Let's see. Let's see, could there be some early options on gold for a buy? If we close above this resistance in 45 seconds. I want the closure above though, because we're trading within a range. So at this rate, the better option would be to wait for price to pop above 28.68.47. But I'm seeing some potential here, guys. So first potential option of the week presenting maybe now. Just gonna need to wait for definitely a lower wick. And the entry would be above this particular catalyst candle, which on IC markets is 28.65.81, so about 28.66 would be a potential entry point. Now I need a lower wick. Get a lower wick. All right. What is the highest point of this candle? So I think we've popped up at higher, so therefore the entry needs to be above this candle's high. So 05, 26.66.05. Where's my market pending gone? All right. 26.66.05. That is what I'm currently looking at. Stop loss would be below the 15. And the initial target's going to be just the resistance here. But again, I'll look to secure at intervals. So especially in first potential trade of the week, maybe about 10 pips plus in. Otherwise, guys, what I'm looking at on gold is some rejection for sells. If it does pop up to 28.68, only to reject. At that point there, I feel there are going to be options to look for a potential sell as well. So that's what I'm currently looking at, guys. We'll get around to having a look at GJ shortly. In the meantime, YouTube, Walter, Archer, good day to you. Good to see you on the stream. Franco, good morning. Lau, good morning, mate. Tommy, hope you're well. Beats, good morning to you. And everyone on TikTok, appreciate you all for joining. Chuck, Mohammed, Marlene, Junior, Harry, Shahid, Amy, Mega Man, Inley, Michael, KB, Mr. Diamond, and whoever else who I may have missed. Welcome to everyone. So we're looking at potential gold buys, guys. Not in this trade just yet. Let's quickly look at GJ. There's nothing on GJ right now anyway. We can keep our focus on the gold. Remove some of these levels, seeing we're nowhere near them. Alright, I've been triggered in. Let's see. What you could do is you could really immediately adjust stop loss to just below the entry counters low. It's a good way of mitigating risk, so I'm just going to adjust it a little bit. Just adjust the stop loss to 50. 26.40, 28.64.50. pretty much there. But actually at 48 to be exact. Yep, I'm in. BGT, Jahmed, I am in just now. So I'm pretty much at entry. So let's see. Five minutes of liquidity candle. A little bit of an awkward candle. There's a nice close above the resistance here to the left. That closure isn't the best. So we're currently running in some significant drawdown. So we'll see. Not looking great, to be honest, but again, it's all good. The calculated risk, so yeah, it looks like I'm about to be taken out. Me adjusted stop loss, potentially still in. So stop loss is 16 pips, basically at the moment. You adjust the stop loss from the initial stop loss is over 30, so pretty much cut it by half. So I'm still in, guys. I'm still in it. Didn't get taken out. The full no has not opened yet. EU has just opened. Back towards the stop loss, so yeah, it looks like I'm going to get taken out shortly. Yeah, about to be taken out. There's the brakes. Hanging in, just. Red light is on, so it's about to get taken out either way. Yeah, it's done. Not a great start, but I think it's was worth the entry. I don't think it was a bad entry. Closed above a minor resistance formed at support. We did very similar last time. Once we broke above the resistance, we made a nice move up. So based off that, it's a trade I definitely would consider taking more often than not. That is what it is. So it's a managed loss in the end. Had a stop loss to begin of, what was it? Pretty much 30 pips. So I cut it by half, the stop loss. So I think that's pretty well managed. Again, keep those losses small. It's very important to do so. Not always about, you know, winning, because we need to also know how to manage our trades if we do take a loss. So all good, all good. Yeah, didn't get the biscuits, but the chocolates, but all good. We can move on. And let's take a look at GJ. So we've not looked at it yet. Let's see what GJ is up to, and we'll come back to gold shortly. All right, so starting at the weekly, and based off the previous weekly, I'll call that, look, let's use the fib, and from the open, all right, so it's just closed above the 50, so I'm calling it strong bullish. Current candle has actually broken high of the previous just, and is now pulling back towards its low. So let's just mark in the low of the current candle. Let's just see what we've got below it, and let's also see what we've got above the high of it. So still based off the previous weekly, we are strong bullish daily, still in this nasty area consolidation on the daily and 4 hour. The 4 hour is an absolute mess. I had a quick look at it before, but once again we do have counter probabilities to the upside. Broken high of the previous candle, so we are in structurally we are technically bearish. We do respect the last significant lower high, the pullback made a few weeks back. We did reject it, come back down to tap into the support. So as long as we remain above the support, there's a good chance we could pull back up to retest the level here at 190, 180 roughly. If we were to do so, we need to begin to break above the current daily candles high onto the 4 hour. That is a mess, an absolute mess, but it's still bullish. Still bullish from this big impulse to the upside from these lows at 187.15 roughly. So technically bullish, but in one big nasty area of consolidation, which means it's not easy trading it. As far as the most recent resistance, maybe we've got one just here too, so we can mark that in. We'll be adjusting these zones shortly. Most recent support is that point there. Again, I will adjust that. And the 30-minute is, by the looks of it, if we create that low, remember at the beginning of last week there was a big sell towards the end of the week prior to it. Did create low on Friday. Swing point here is the high. High. Yeah, so it's bearish. 30-minute structure is bearish, so therefore you got the daily being bearish, you got 30-minute being bearish, 4 hours bullish, weekly is bullish. So similar to gold, it's a neutral bias on a GJ today, so could really look for options in either direction. Just needing these zones a bit on the 30, and we'll see what we've got as well on the 15. So by the looks of it here, very simple on GJ. It may not be on the 15. To the downside, it's not, and you've got some minor support here on 15 at 189.23 roughly. It's going to be a bit tricky to the downside below the current daily candles low. So what I like to see on GJ is see how price reacts to this 189.30. If it does bounce off it, as long as we make the clean move now, we do have enough margin, then potentially we could look for the buys back up. So this rate, the better and cleaner option will come above the most recent resistance formed within the current daily candle. So cleaner buys definitely above that point there. So within the current daily candle, what we've done is we've created the high, created a low, pulled back to create resistance within it. So if we were to continue bearish, not much need for us to pull back up, break through the resistance, close above it. If we do, good chance we could end up back at around that 190 flat sort of region. So that would be what I'd be looking at for the buys. I'm not going to put the buys in from here. I don't really like this level, to be honest. Look, we could potentially get the buys, but we'll have to wait and see how price action plays out. As far as sells, it's probably best to wait for below this 189.20. So for the sells, what I'm probably going to want to wait for is, even if we can pop down into these wicks to the left here, which is a bit of 15-minute support, then pull back, reject it again, and start to pop below that minor support, then there could be sell options below this 189.30 region. So I will pop that in, and otherwise I'll be looking for sells from higher up on the rejection. If we do get so, if it does reject around that 190 flat or even higher, 190.20 to 30. That is pretty much it on DJ at the moment. It's a bit tricky. As is gold. Now, yeah, so now it's basically going to wait for 28, 68, 40, 28, 68, 50. All clean options to buy it, in my opinion. Not going to be a great deal of margin above this candle's high. If it does, you can flip again. Yeah, so that's likely going to be the next option of gold. Otherwise, rejection of that level creates a clean move up and look for the potential sell. Alrighty guys, what have I missed? Apologies. Okay, looking at GU sells, waiting on the 15 close. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. Could have almost beat in on the impulse as well, with that long wick rejection rejecting this supported to the left, closing weak bullish. So that's your options, and now you don't have a lower wick, so always something. I'll send you guys the link now, by the way. Apologies if I missed any comments out. True Crypto Trade, all good mate, how are you? Crypto has been all over the place, hasn't it? So it's it had a massive sell-off and now it's bounced back quite strongly. How's that for a weekly closure? Wow, that's a really strong catalyst to suggest that we may continue bullish from here, but price needs to obviously flip on the current candle and begin to break above that previous candle's high. But the fact that it closed back above 90, especially with support 93.70, it's a pretty strong suggestion, and maybe it's just grab some liquidity from the downside in order to once again form that support and potentially retest the all-time highs. Let's quickly look at it though across the board. The daily is definitely bearish in structure. So you got the weekly a weak bearish, but closing back above support. Daily bearish in structure, breaks the previous daily candle's high, and there is a good chance for it to come up towards that 9660 region. Let's mark in a current daily low and see what we got below that point there. The 4 hour has also flipped bullish. So you got the daily is Alzheimer's. Daily is bearish. 4 hour is bullish. The weekly is weak bearish. So we've got so far 2 time frames, 2 downside ones. The upside, just mark in this resistance. Let's mark in this support. Now 30 is definitely bullish. So therefore it's a neutral bias on Bitcoin. Nice strong closure below support on the previous candle. 15, you got a pause. So what I'd be looking for is the bearish engulfing scenario. If this candle closed bearish engulfing below that previous bullish candle's low, then there could be a few options there. There could be either the continuation sell, so like so, as price begins to break the candle's low, or there could be the limit order, what I call the interruption entry present if this closes strong bearish engulfing. Now this is just for scalp positions, guys, and not long term. Closes significantly below the low of that bullish candle, Bitcoin, it probably wanted to be about at least a 10-15 pip closure below. If that is to be the case, then sell limit orders back at the low of that bullish candle would be valid. And target, obviously looking to the left, you got this minor support at 87.60. And otherwise, for the buy options on Bitcoin, look, it is very bullish on a minor time frame. If it was to form a little bit of structure just now, so even if it's on the 15-minute time frame, like so, and we begin to pop above the resistance, then potentially it could be early buys, but it is tapping into a 15-minute support as well. So obviously just pulled up to any level and starting to potentially reverse. At least has tapped into a level where it could do so. So I want to see a little bit of structure within price action for options to potentially buy it. The rest of the cryptos be following, be ETH, XRP, look pretty much the exact same as Bitcoin at the moment. Yeah, so that's my opinion of it. Okay, you didn't take it, all good, mate. Yeah, fans, welcome. What else? Charlie, please open EU. Have a look at EU. Looks like identical to Bitcoin, doesn't it? Very similar to Bitcoin. What's going on here? All right. Weekly, very strong bearish candle, and also a liquidity candle. So broke the high of the previous candle, went on to close strong bearish below, well below the low of that previous candle. Similar to gold, doesn't have a lower wick. Let's see what we've got in between. See why we could potentially continue up without creating a lower wick, or see what levels that we could begin to pop below to potentially come back down to eventually create that lower wick. Onto the daily time frame, and it looks again very similar to actually not gold. It is bullish though. However, you've got this big impulse to the upside from the lows here at 101.775. Impulse to bounce back from that level, flip the structure bullish. If not created a higher high here, we've not confirmed a higher high, we've not closed above this swing point, so technically bullish. And the current candle has a high low, higher high to that previous candle as well. So marking the current daily high. Let's move on to the 4 hour. 4 hours looking okay as far as creating some structure, and the candles seem quite clean as well. We don't have a lot of consolidation like we're doing DJ. Let's determine the structure though. So it's bullish here, it's flip bearish, flip back bullish, a high, flip below, so it's technically low. All right, it's line ball, but it's technically bearish because it's not closed above this wick, this bearish candle wick. So this is the pullback. That is the highest point of the pullback. Got 2 more consecutive candles closing the opposite direction just here to the trend. That's lowest, or lowest closure. That's the lowest point of the impulse down. So we need to close above this 104.20 to confirm a structure flip. The significance of that level, and look what we've done just now is we've rejected it, so we're actually still bearish in structure on the 4 hour. So it's against the weekly and daily. Oh, against the daily, sorry, not the weekly. Weekly was bearish, the daily is bullish. 4 hour structure is technically bearish. Let's just mark that in. Sorry, I was a little bit rusty. I haven't spent much time on the charts of late. 30-minute is bullish, and it will remain bullish until close below these lows to be exact. So below the 103.60. So therefore, that's the open of the weekly. So we've got weekly is bearish, we've got daily's bullish. 4 hour was also, man, bearish. So we've got neutral bias once again. Neutral bias. What would I be looking at then Got some support here in the 15-minute time frame, so I think it comes down to this level now. See how price reacts to it. If price was to begin to close below it, we've rejected that 4-hour resistance. We've maintained structure on a 4-hour bearish. If we were to begin to close below this 104 flat psychological round number as well, key level, those round numbers are psychological numbers. If we were to begin to close below it, pull back to retest it, there's a good chance that we could end up to back down to create that lower wick on the daily time frame. As far as buys, it's a little bit difficult buying it within the current area. It's very, very choppy. There is no real clean area price action for me to look to contemplate getting involved in any buy option. Best option in my opinion probably comes back above this the daily high here, back above 104.234. So buys above that point there. So pretty much trading outside of the immediate range, you know, either direction is what you're looking at. So that's EU for Charlie. Welcome everyone on TikTok. If you could, make sure to follow if you're not already following. True Crypto Trader, loving crypto right now. It's very volatile, isn't it? Making some crazy moves. All good, mate. All good. Franco, yeah, read that. Didn't take it. Mr. Phil, good morning to you. Thank you. Appreciate it. What's gold doing now? Could there be options to sell it soon? Keep an eye on this, guys. So for the sell to be valid, I want it to close below 28.61.28 to be exact. It's pretty much the low of the most recent support fall. It's also the open of the bearish candle, which created a resistance here to the left. Below it, you got some clean traffic. You also have a bearish engulfing M30. Based off that, it could almost be options, just even if it does close just as is, but it will come down to price action. So if we close bearish engulfing on a 30, then it probably comes down to how the candle opens. So for instance, if it drops straight down without the up wick, then I'm just simply going to wait for it to pull back, create an up wick, and set a self stop just below the low. But let's see, it looks like it could close below. What is the low at the moment? 2860 is 71. 2860. 50. Yeah. Is it possible to go up? Yeah, it's definitely possible to go up, especially if it respects this support. Then there's a good chance it could end up back towards the resistance here at 28.67, then 28 sorry, before that 28.66 and then 28.68 roughly. BJT, yep, the first loss. One more. What is this? This is FX or Forex trading. If the market is going up and everyone wins, who will lose? Don't follow the herd. I follow myself. That's all I do. Best way to go about it. Oh, what pair? Sorry, gold. XAUUSD. But let's see. We'll go back to the 30 for a second. Just marking along that previous candle. That would be a really nice strong catalyst. We don't want it to pop up. If it does, then likely not going to be a valid entry. Now, the preference in 50 seconds is for it to pop down, close below 28.61.30. But it doesn't necessarily, doesn't look like it's going to do so, to be honest, but we'll see. Turtle, you know, gold, looking for potential sells moment. So perhaps good day to you. Broad pit, if you like, if your analysis is telling you to buy now, mine is not, so I'm not doing nothing. Actually looking for a potential sell option. Phil, I'll take a look at EJ soon. I just want to keep an eye on gold. 10 seconds remaining. Closing engulfing on the 30. Alright, so it comes down to price action now. We haven't quite got the close I wanted. It hasn't closed below. So I really love this counter to do what it's doing just now. Pop down, continue down towards the low, then flip. Break the upper wick. And as soon as it does that, I'm going to set a sell stop back below the low. So we want it to pop down a bit further towards the low. It's flipping. I can see in my MetaTrader. Alright, let's quickly look at GJ then. Yeah. GJ, the issue with GJ is this 15-minute support, which is about 8 pips away. So GJ is doing kind of what I wanted gold to do just now. It's got no upper wick. It's broken below the support. Now if it popped back up, create the upper wick. Had there been enough margin, it would have been a good entry, but for me, that's the concern. So I really want to see GJ tap into that level, consolidate around it, and then start to close below it. Back to gold. All right, so no sells on gold at the moment. It's bouncing again, bouncing strongly off this level. So it's a level I've tapped into now 3 times today and bounced off it. This previous resistance to the left, so it's obviously a strong level. So no entry for me right now on gold. Now for the buys from this point, what I would love to really see right now is the 30 closing engulfing, 15, sorry, and a weak M15 closure on a second weak bearish closure on the next 15-minute candle. That's the case, so that will look a little bit like this. Engulfing, followed by a weak pause. That's still going to close the 30 engulfing. And on the following candle, London Open, could look for a potential buy option as it begins to break that minor pause candle's high. Now, the only other way I would consider getting involved prior to London Open just now is if this candle closes pretty much as it is just now, then I would consider a sell if it next candle begun to break the low of this candle. Because it's a weak pause below the bodies of the candles here to the left, some previous support. Grab liquidity from the range above, only to reject. But I'm not going to take it now if it flips. Eros traders, what's good? All good, mate. Everything's good here. Just sussing out gold. Take a look at the FTSE as well. Wow, big. Wow, back at all-time highs. What on earth has gone on here? So it's open with a gap to the upside. Let's just mark in the current daily candles low. Have we filled that gap? Strong bullish in the weekly. Daily structure is also bullish. Obviously create another all-time high. Let's mark in the high of the current daily candle. Wow, it's likely going to be bullish across the board here. It's also technically bullish, don't have any resistance. What we can do is mark in previous all-time or previous resistance prior to new all-time high. Hit to the left. We won't bother with the support, we're way off it. Oops. Down to 30 is, it's also bullish. It flipped bearish below this point here. So for me, being a Monday, I would only be interested in buying the FTSE because it's in a big uptrend, bullish across the board. I would need a catalyst to sell it. So the catalyst would be, first of all, waiting for the structure flip bearish. And if it did begin to consolidate between 88.40 and 88.32, then if it began to pop below that point there, that's when I would consider the options to sell it. 15-minute would suffice as well. And otherwise, be looking for a little bit of consolidation just now. And as price begins to pop above the consolidation, there could be an early option to buy it again on 15. That would also be okay, and continuation buys above the all-time high as well. Very clean chart, very simple analysis. Follow the trend. Trend is your end until the trend is your friend until the end. Yeah. So it'll show Ripple, XRP. Look at GJ now, by the way, guys. So that is why I want to wait for the weakening opposite direction to form prior to taking entry, because as we can see, go through all these candles to the left. Yes, there's going to be 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 that don't have wicks in the opposite direction prior to the closure. So obviously here, got another one there. Really zoomed in, it's got a tiny wick. But obviously, I would say 90 to 95% of these candles have wicks in both directions. So it's best just to wait for that simple thing to be ticked off prior to entry. So sometimes what it's going to do is similar to what GJ did just then, and pop straight down without that lower wick. So at that point there, just say I had enough margins to the left and I wanted to get involved in a trade. All I'm doing is waiting for it to pull back to create the upper wick, and I know if it does do so, seeing it's already created a lower wick, if we were to continue bullish, there is no need for us to pull back down and break our own low. And if we did so, then what that suggests is we'll likely grab some more liquidity from the range above in order to make the final push back to the range, into the range below, back to the next level of support. So that is the importance of having wicks in either direction, and would have saved any potential loss on GJ. So let's see gold. We've got to wait 7 and a bit minutes to see how this candle closes. There could be still potential sell options. So XRP, very similar to the other cryptos. Basically the same thing as Bitcoin, what I mentioned before. Yeah. If you're considering buying it from this level here, wait for it to form some structure. So something like that before you're looking for the buys. I don't trade chart patterns or anything. I have no idea if it's forming a flag or a pennant or whatever you call it. I just look for levels on a chart, so I know I've got support here. I don't really have much of a zone though. That level is the level of support around that 26 flat, $2.60. And it's a potential pullback zone. I want to see a bit of structure form for buy options, and if it did form support at that level and only to pop below it, there could be options to take a sell back down towards 23.50, $2.50, $2.35, sorry. Otherwise, pullbacks to $22.80 to $30 roughly. Its most recent resistance form in the daily candle. If we were to continue bearish, there is not much of a need for it to close above that point. It did. There's a good chance seeing back up even higher towards that $22.88 to $2.96 sort of region. Anyway, back to gold. So this is, I don't want it to close bearish. Look, it just depends. Again, if it does close bearish near its low, it will all come down to price action on the following candle if there is to be a potential sell. So I need that upper wick first. And the preference would be for it to do what GJ did just then, pop down, then pops back up to create the upper wick. Otherwise, if it closed like this, that's also a good potential confirmation to sell it. It breaks low. At that point, the gap needs to be filled at 28.59. Then we go to the upside. The daily open, potentially. That's what I'm looking to take it down to. I mean, chart. Yeah, it's a daily open. I know what you're talking about. Now, what I'm doing is checking what the lowest point of this bullish candle is on my broker's chart. It's 28.6108. We'd be looking about potentially 2 pips below that point is an entry, potential entry level. So scoping some potential gold sells. What we'd really love to see is price close below this horizontal. In fact, I can just adjust that now. Two and a half minutes, let's see. Vincent, it should manipulate out the range lower than maybe MY session, distribute higher up. Could do, yeah, could do that, could do anything really. If instant bullish order flow overall. I'm bullish on gold overall. I don't know what the order flow is. I'm just doing me again. My actual trading bias are scalping. It's neutral. If you ask me my overall, opinion of it, I think it's very bullish. Now, how are we going to close? Just here. data. What platform? So this is TradingView. It's just a free basic plan as well, so you don't need to pay for any subscription or anything. Vincent, I'm on the 15 at the moment. All right, if it close like this, preference would be for it to close below, and I want to see, again, we'll let the new, or the London Open, it's actually not London Open, it's 15 minutes prior to it. I'll let a new candle dictate if there is to be an entry or not. I mean, it's teetering on flipping back bullish on my broker. I would really love for it to do so. I'm gonna do it. Almost closed the doji on my broker. I really want to pop straight down, then up. Yeah. Got a swap work now. No, I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced just yet. Yeah, I've not said nothing at the moment, guys. I'm just actually gonna wait. Nice already. I'm already on buy. Should I close? Again, you guys need to have a plan for all this. If you're taking a trade, you need to have a plan for when you want to get out of the trade that goes against you, like I did before. And what levels you want to begin to take some profits off the table, things like that. Because if you don't know that, then really you're not following your plan, to be honest. So, not meaning to be rude. Personally, for me, I don't think there's an entry right now in either direction. Doesn't mean, you know, you guys might not have a confirmation to enter. But I just don't like price action at the moment. I'm just gonna chill. BGT, you're buying GJ, check. Tan. Can buy. Yeah, not for me. There is no buy confirmation. Yeah, GJ. Again, it's just in a very messy area for me. This area between 189.30 and 750 is just really not an ideal level to get involved in trades. It's very congested, very choppy. I mean, again, you need to have a plan as to when you want to cut the trade if it does go against you. Depends where you got in, because you could already be in some decent profit. If you are, then it's break even and just let it ride, see how it goes. Yeah, for me, I would not be interested in buying GJ at the moment. It looks like it wants to potentially make this move. Yeah, I'm just waiting, guys. I'm not gonna trust it, to be honest. Yeah, I always say to my guys, if you're not comfortable being involved in the trade, then it's best not to. So for me, I just didn't like that closure. Just wasn't exactly what I wanted. All good to sit out of it. Voila, good day to you. It's not even a great 5-minute confirmation as well. That needs to close a little bit lower. That's all good, guys. Not going to chase it. What can we plan for though for the open now? Now it comes down to the 30-minute closure. See how the 30 closes, because it's still looking pretty good based on that time frame. And that could provide a next potential catalyst similar to what I mentioned on the 15, but without the pause. But it could come down to pure price action at London Open. My concern right now is, are we just grabbing a bit of liquidity before we head back up? Because those of you who follow me for a while now know what I think about the fact that we don't always need to pull back to create these lower wicks on the higher time frame. We respect this support, and there is a good chance we could end up back at that 28.68 region. And if we break through that resistance, there's a good chance we're not coming back to create a lower wick for today. But I know that there is a good chance too that we could come back down to fill that market open gap, if that's what we want to call it, and create that lower wick. But to be honest, guys, had I taken that trade, I would have been probably just taking out break even the way I managed it. Wasn't convinced, that I'm happy I stayed out of it, to be honest. Vincent's MT5 good on PC. I think that's fine, to be honest. You move stops easily. To be honest, I use a toolkit for all that, so it's just the press of a button. And I would love to tell you what I use, but I've got to be careful. I don't want to get it bad. Thank you for the heart sticker. I appreciate it. Cams, appreciate it. Thank you. And there we go. Gold now popping back up. Yeah, so I definitely would have been out of this had I taken that sell already. Now, what I ideally want to see on GJ just now is, so we know we've got this level here to the left. What I would love to see is a strong engulfing bearish candle closing either just below that level or at it, and then I would consider the sells at session open. To be honest, I should just adjust this sells, but I should move that to here. Thank you once again to all the new followers on TikTok. I appreciate it. I am streaming live on YouTube at the same time, so if you can't find me on TikTok, guys know where I'm at. Same profile name, same everything. Zane, are we waiting for bullish candle close to buy? Gold? Look, if this closed bullish engulfing on the 15, then that would be a very, very strong catalyst, because it's going to close the 30-minute back strong bullish back above the support. The next likely destination will be back at 28.65.60. So it just depends where this candle closes in the next 6.5 minutes. I would love for it to close engulfing, so above the height of that bearish candle, and then I would consider the buy option. Even if it closed pretty much where it's at, I would consider another option to buy it. Again, being session open, you would definitely need a lower wick prior to any entry. Motherfucker. sell? Not at the moment. David, gold bullish right now. Yeah, look, I'm still very bullish on it overall, but trading wise, scalping wise, I see the bias is technically neutral, and at the current level there could be options in either direction. For the buyer, wanted to close bullish engulfing on the 15, closing the 30 strong bullish at what has been a very strong support throughout the day. I've tapped into it multiple times and respected it, this previous resistance. And if we end up closing back below on a 30 near our low, that would suggest maybe we've grabbed some more liquidity from above this 15-minute resistance. And if we've begun to break the low of what will be the lowest point of the 30, then it could be potential for it to come down to create that lower wick on a daily candle. So it's still could be options in either direction. Now it comes down to pretty much what its 30-minute closes. Adrico, sell 10 lot. There you go. Look at GJ now. So would there be options to sell it? Would contemplate it. Three minutes guys until it's session open. So there are the options. Gold, you want it to close right up near that 22.63.40 mark, and GJ really wants to close around that 189.22 sort of level. That's for the sell. Gold for the potential buy option. So I will focus yet again on gold. David, no. Again, I'm not gonna mention or direct anyone anywhere because I'll get a ban and I'm on the last strike. So you guys are intelligent enough to know how to find out things. I mean, it's pretty easy to work out. All right, gold trying. It's looking pretty good. 2 minutes now. Give it another shot potentially. Zone. It's the same as my profile name. Alright guys, so we're waiting to see where gold closes. I would love for it to close right up near this horizontal I've marked in. And it is, or will close 30-minute strong bullish at previous resistance here to the left, which has been a sticking point throughout the day. Price has bounced off it multiple times. and also closed bullish engulfing in 15. It's very strong catalyst. What I need to see prior to taking any entry is a lower wick at London Open. So again, what I suggest is keep track of the highest point of the current candle on your broker and look for a potential entry a couple pips above it. Thank you for the new sub on YouTube. So yeah, just we need a low wick. Definitely need a low wick. So it could be a very quick one, guys. All right, need a low wick. Let's pop straight up. Need to pop back down. All right, I'm seeing a buy stop at around 26.63.89. Stop loss just below the previous candle at this point. As soon as I get triggered in, I will adjust stop loss to just below the entry candle. If it gets triggered in. We popped up the open, broke the high of the previous candle. Therefore, the entry has to be above the current candle's high. When we pop back down to create a lower wick, now we're potentially flipping to break our own high again. So I'm not in it yet, guys. That's what I'm currently looking at. And where's the high of this candle? Yeah, so it's exactly 2 pips above. So if you're following along, you should not be triggered in right now. Zane, this is gold. David, yeah, in my opinion, it's a good chance for it to turn bullish again. I think it's respected this support. And I like the fact that, again, when we've popped straight up, then pop back down to create low wick, we've popped back up towards the high, now rejecting again. So this is all good. If once again, we again flip and break our own high, this current pullback could be just enough. It could be just pulling back, grab enough liquidity from within the market to make the move back up towards that 28.65, 70 sort of region. Let's quickly look at GJ. Oh, guys, man, man, it's a tough game this trading. Wow, that is pretty good catalyst to sell it. I'm not sure if it created a low wick to begin and then drop, but you would have hit TP1. So hopefully some of you might have been following along with the analysis and maybe took the trade. I didn't take it. I was too focused on gold. It's what it is. David, this is gold. Spot gold. Oh man, GJ. Yeah, would have been a very good option, to be honest. The bearish engulfing closing right near the support there. Never mind. Sell. GJ would have been a decent option to sell it. Let's see. Once again, flipping. So we're 4 minutes in, so enough time, in my opinion, to create a lower wick if we break our own high again. See if we've got enough liquidity to give it at least that 10 plus pip push. Right, I'm in. Got triggered in right on 90. Oh, when did I get triggered in? That's strange. Why did I get triggered in at 90? Anyway. I don't complain. Let's see. Let's see how we go. Spread's triggered me in. By the looks of it. Once again, I'm in a bit of drawdown, so trading, guys. Let's see if we can flip. Real good morning to you. Well, not looking great again. I'm going to adjust stop loss to a little bit below the entry candle. I'm about to get taken out. So I'll move the stop loss to 28.61.73. Will be a little bit premature, but again, I like to manage my trades. I don't like to take full losses. So 28.61.63 is what I've got at the moment. Oh man, not looking like a good day, guys. And to be honest, both trades were trades I would take nearly all the time. When I present, I think they're valid. The only issue might be the level. Maybe it's just not the cleanest area, trading within the range, which again, I'm not afraid to do so if I get the right confirmation. It looks like I might be getting rolled. We'll see. All part of training. Emma, yeah, at the moment it is, but all good. We'll see. We're still in it. Again, it's just one of those ones, guys. If you can't hack taking a loss, then you're just not going to be cut out for it. Because the reality is, you're going to take losses. You're going to have losing streaks too. I mean, to begin the year, I think the first 4 trades were losses. I could not buy a win the first week and a half, 2 weeks. And then I went on a winning streak of, I think it was 11 after that, 10 or 11. So if you just stick with your plan and you don't, just change things up because you have a bad day or two. And if your plan is proven over a period of time to work, the way you trade, then that's just stick to it and eventually it'll correct itself again. Bash, yeah, you can definitely do that if that's what you think is the right thing. But we'll see. I'm nearly back in entry, so let's see. GJ popping back up. So if anyone took that sell, now the runner should be out. Loyalty family was GJ making a wick to go up. Friday closes bullish engulfing. I wasn't engulfing, didn't close above the high. Yeah, potentially. I mean, to me, it's just stuck in this really nasty 4-hour level, really difficult level. Yeah, so normally when I look at that, if I was looking at it by myself and on stream, I wouldn't even consider trading GJ. Unless there was some really clean traffic in amongst it. To me, the only potential level looks to be maybe below this wick. You might have some really clean traffic. Excuse the lag, guys. Come on. But even then, yeah, it's not the cleanest, to be honest. Anyway. Whoop. Gold popping. Let's see. Are we gonna... I'm 6 pips up. Come on. Excuse the lag again, guys. There we go. Well, I'm currently 8 pips up. So I'm just gonna go to break even. There's your 10. And how's that for a turn in the books? I'm not securing... Alright, closed half. Closed half at about 11. I'm just gonna let the rest go. Excuse the lag, guys. So I'm at break even and I've just been taken out. So small win. That quick. And apologies, guys. I've got the screen's frozen. I've got lag here in my end. What can I do? Let's refresh. There it is. So that was a win. That ended up being a win, guys. 1 win, 1 loss. I'll still end up in some drawdown for today though. But there it is. Finally flipped. So as long as it respects this 28.62, there's a good chance that it will continue to head back up towards that 28.68 sort of region. Yeah, so I mean, based off that, sorry guys, just let me open this in a new window. Still now for me, the sell point, I would shift this down. I would shift it down to this point here. And below there, it's a lot cleaner for the sells. Much cleaner. Start using aiming. Is that, what's that? Be careful what you're trying to pop in the chat here, otherwise you'll get a ban. Vincent, you think you're gonna stay in for the buy, not closing it? All good, mate. Well, yeah, I just followed my plan. I had about 12 pips roughly on the table, 11, 12. So, Lau, nice one. Yeah, so small win. I'm still in a bit of drawdown, to be honest, after the earlier loss, but it wasn't a big loss too. So, not a bad way to start London session anyway. Grab that part of that loss back. But again, it's not what it's about. It's just about following your plan, knowing that you're going to win more than you lose, and everything will correct itself in the end. So if you're still in this trade, what I would be now doing is just definitely manage the stop loss to the low of the current candle. Seeing we flip yet again, and flip with momentum this time. That literally flipped from a couple pips in the negative to about 6-7 pips in profit in a second. And now it's again popping back up. And if it breaks zone high, there's a good chance popping up to this 28.65, and that's where I definitely would be securing something. So nice one. Welcome to over 100 of you on TikTok. If you're not followed, make sure to do so. Emma? No, this is trading view. MT5 is what I trade on, execute my trades, but I can't chart on it. I can't do it for the life of me. Tens, nice one. So your stop loss is in profit. Yep, that's right. Kenny is trading view. Smithy, nice one. Thank you for jumping across. It's definitely I mean, you get the full screen, so it looks better. Dina, what time frame? This is the 15-minute. Alright, so it's a decent candle closure on 15, but the thing is, we're likely, and we are, creating a lower wick. So you might have to sit through a bit of drawdown if you're not yet secured anything, and if you're not yet at break even. While it's creating a slow wick, in anticipation will eventually flip, so just be aware of that. That's, again, I'm no longer in it. So yeah, so one loss and one win for today.
Hi Justin.
Phil, g'day to you. How are you?
Doing alright. How about you?
Nice one. Yeah, all good, mate. All good. All good. What are you looking at?
At the moment, nothing really. I was looking at EJ early, but the opportunity just moved without the confirmation I was looking for. So
Yeah.
it moved, though it was really nice on the M30. But
Yeah, the 30 looks great, but I know the time frames you look at, yeah, CDR looks terrible coming from consolidation.
yeah,
2 hour,
same.
bit choppy as well. Not greatest price action.
So maybe later I could give some opportunities to just wait and see.
Yep.
Also, EU also not looking great. Kind of just consolidation.
Yeah,
But
I
if
think.
that goes below, it would be nice. But
Yeah, I
if
think
that's close,
below 104. I think that's where it really needs to close below.
yeah.
And 15-minute support as well.
But again, even closing below, with the way it's looking, it's not sufficient, because if that will close below, if that for me, it doesn't just look right.
Fair enough.
I don't know. Yeah. It just looks like I will need to have like some, if it will close below, because you see the previous candles, the momentum is kind of like dying down.
Yeah. Not strong.
Yeah, it's not strong. So closing below, I will need to have some kind of confirmation like interruption candle or a strong close with an interruption. Then
Yeah, that'd be nice. Definitely need a strong closure, not just a. I mean, I wouldn't even trust if this count closes just below. You really want to see a really strong closure below. Yeah. I mean, it wouldn't look bad on a 30.
yeah, it wouldn't look bad on the 30, but on the early, it's still a little bit.
Yeah, the hourly looks a bit ugly, I know. Looks like it's just exhausting. At previous resistance as well here. Yeah, not the greatest at the moment. And just have to wait. BJ popping back down again.
Same with EJ as well, it's popping back down, but the move is gone already.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's into some congestion here on the 15. A bit late if you, if you know it.
Over the last week, because if you check, EJ is also in a similar range like
BJ. Yeah.
On the 4 hour,
Yeah.
in a similar range.
identical.
But yeah, but it was really nice to me because if you look at it on the early, it gave a lot of sell opportunities within that range from the highs.
Yep, from the highs looks alright.
Yeah. Over the last week, it had a lot of sell opportunities from the highs.
Yep.
As you can see, from Monday right up to Friday, like that. So it wasn't a bad deal. Even though on Friday there was one trade I took somewhere on this towards NY session. There was a sell I took on NY session.
Around there.
That's Thursday. That's Thursday. Yeah, Friday. This one. So this, you can see the bullish candle there before the eventual move. The bullish close with the long wick to the downside.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not a bad entry.
Yeah. So I did take that trade, and then no, not this one. The bullish candle that closed. This one. Yeah. So after this rejected the high again and closed like with this bearish how they call this hanging man, no, the opposite one.
This one.
Just before, no, before.
Oh, this one, yeah. Yeah, like a hammer.
So I took it below that, and then
yeah, nice one.
I kind of like just left it, and then it stopped me out before it moved.
Oh,
so
really?
I ended up getting like my a kind of a bigger loss than I would have loved, because I had moved the stop loss above the candle.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So it kind of like just stopped me out, and then it made this huge move, or I think this move ended up being like around 70 pips or so. So
yeah, it happens, doesn't it?
Overall, the week was a good one for me.
Nice one.
Yeah, overall it was a nice week.
Good to hear it. Well done. Yeah, see what happens moving forward.
Yeah, just
Nene, I'm in a sell position looking at 2820.5. 2820.5. Somewhere around here. You got some pretty key levels prior to it, so yeah, just have a plan, a trade management plan. To BTC. So I had a quick look at it before, and what I mentioned was I want to see it form some structure before looking for any buys, so it potentially could be doing that just now. Tapped into the 15-minute support here to the left, so if you're looking at scalps, pull back now to create that high low, or it's above higher high, that could be a confirmation. As soon as it creates that low wick and begins to break above, there's a good chance of heading up to this 93.34 region. And seeing within the current daily, we have now respected the high of the previous daily, and within the current daily we've formed some resistance, minor resistance at this 23.34. Also formed at 93.340. Also formed it recently at 92.500 basically. So if we were to respect those levels and head back down towards the support here at 90,750, I'd be looking for closures below, and there's a good chance it's heading back down towards where it came from again, and that 85k mark. Calisthenics Zay? No, I just took a quick scalp for 11. I think it was 11 pips I got on a quick buy on gold. While manipulating lower Vincent, potentially. Alrighty, guys. Franco, maybe gold sells come into play again. Yeah, potentially. I mean, potentially. This closed back below. Wow, this is the turn of events. And a 30 is going to close yet again. An engulfing candle similar to what we had here. Could be in gold sells. Yeah, there could be options. Surely. Apart from that buy Vincent, nice one. Yeah, Ali doesn't look great. 4 hour could be breaking a low of the previous candle surely, and seeing it did leave a long low wick, suggesting grab some liquidity from what was again previous level here to the left. If we were to break the low of that previous 4 hour candle, there's a good chance that we will continue down. So yeah, the issue is stop loss. It's massive stop loss based on the 15. So it'd probably come down to the next candle, the upper wick, and you'd have to trust that to stop loss. So the preference would be for it to pull back, tap into the highs of this zone support, like so, and trust that as your potential stop loss.
I think on gold also the sell is looking more probable if the candle was to close like that.
Yeah, I agree. If it closes below, then yep. Yeah, it's looking alright. There's still 3 minutes left.
In this case now, how would you place the stop loss?
That's the issue. I'd have to come down to the entry candle. And I have to create a decent low wick, but now making a move. There we go. So yeah, likely not going to be able to get involved just now. Unless you're considering a limit order sell. Not really trending though. Yeah, that's it. That's the move. It's dropped. There's no margin now to the daily blow. I think let's quickly measure it. You got 10 pips, so not a great deal of margin. D-boy, you need to have an entry plan. My plan was to wait, see how this candle closes. Now the only other way I could consider it is a limit order, but it's not really trending, to be honest. Limit order requires price to be within it, more trending. Needs to close minimum of about 8 pips below. So that would be, it's low here, 22, so that means 42. Based off the 30, it actually looks pretty good for continuation sells. But we'll see. It's this rate doesn't look like it's going to close engulfing. Motherfucker, maybe. Zane, possibly. Possibly, I am aware of imbalances, fair value gaps and all that too, but I don't trade them. So at the moment, looks like we're respecting this support, and to me that means there's no valid entry. It definitely has to close below the zone. D-boy, look at the comments. Yeah, I read your comment, man. So it's not closed below it, it's closed right at it, right up below, but not quite below. Yeah, so for me, it's not valid. I've got to stick to my rules. Yeah, there's nothing right now for me on gold. GJ, look at that. Wow. That's a good level to buy it from. That's a good thing on GJ. So you really need to see a bit of structure form once again at this point here. Whether it be on the 15 or 30, if it's on the 15, correlate with a nice strong closure on the 30-minute candle. Be looking for entries after such a significant sell-off. Gold. Look, I can understand people looking at the sells, but I've got to be strict with my rules, and I haven't quite got the closure I wanted. So I'm just going to avoid it for the time being. Potential entry will be below this candle's low. Potential entry. Otherwise, this area is becoming quite tricky to trade. In all honesty, you might need to start to see it create some clean moves, pop back up through this mess to the left, clean move up and look for rejection for a sell, or clean move back down, support to form for potential buyers. So it does look pretty good if it breaks the low for continuation. But yeah, that's pretty much it. They know what up. Nice one. Franco GU looks difficult. Doesn't look bad, to be honest. Bearish engulfing 30. It's got no. I'd wait for it to crane up a week, and then I would personally consider selling it if it were me. Cigarettes after, buy or sell now. Gold, I mean, for me there's nothing. Alrighty guys, I'm gonna call it. So an indifferent day, not a bad day, not a great day. One win, one loss. David. EU. Yeah, so that is the closure you want to see. That's what we mentioned before. Really nice, strong closure. Don't think it's quite retested. No. Consider waiting for the 5-minute to close below, and then maybe I don't trade EU, but that looks decent to continue down now. Forex. If it rejects here, do you think it will break top? I think as long as it respects this level around that 28.61 sort of region, and I think there is a good chance it could end up heading back up towards the highs eventually of the daily. So we've not yet created a lower wick in the daily. I mean, there's a good chance it will, but it's also doesn't necessarily need to do so. Griff, all good, mate. Paul, appreciate it. If you could hit like button, guys, it'd be much appreciated. Those of you on YouTube. Guys, I'll be back tomorrow. Yeah, well done for those of you who made the most of today, who took some profit out of it, and the rest of us, we move on. Don't do anything stupid. Always another session, always another day. So guys, appreciate you. Thank you all for joining both TikTok and YouTube, and I'll catch you guys same time tomorrow. Members, I'll keep you posted probably in about 45 minutes to an hour from now for today's education session. Cheers, guys. Take care. See you all tomorrow. Bye for now, guys. Cheers.